Now you're recording everything?
I'm recording everything.
Cool. All right, great.
You just chill out.
I just get to sit back and relax.
You
Awesome.
know when you come here, I take care of everything for you.
I love it,
Next
Bobby.
next time we record it, I'll have a masseuse show up. She'll literally
Nice.
rub your shoulders as you're talking.
I'm ready.
You're a celebrity, man. I gotta take care of you. What is up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Nintendo Talk, this special edition E3 craziness that is going on. I am so fortunate today to have one of my favorite people, definitely one of my favorite YouTubers, one of the nicest people in all the land, Mr. Rogers Base. What's up, Roger?
Thank you very much, Bobby. I gotta say, this is my absolute last stop on the E3 prediction train. I have been on like so many videos now because I did one with Josh, I did one with Commonwealth, I did one with Spawn Wave, and I think I did one with Break Room Arcade too. Okay. So this is it. I limited myself to 5. This is it.
Yeah.
This is the last thing, and actually it's good because of your format. I basically have been on a bunch of these, so I've already talked through a lot of things. So I saved my 5 most likely predictions for this one.
And you saved your best for last. Like your
the best for last.
The best episode you're coming on. I get it. I understand.
Exactly.
For those that don't know, what if you live under some crazy rock or whatever, Roger is a YouTuber. You actually started doing Twitch streams now?
I have, yeah.
That was, a couple months ago you started doing that?
A couple months ago. We're already at 22,000. It's amazing.
Get out of here. Really?
Twitch has been great.
Amazing.
I know.
That's phenomenal, man. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Bobby. Thank you.
And so real quickly, though, let people know like where they can find you and all that stuff.
Sure. Yeah, you can find me at Rogersbase, ROGERSBASE, on YouTube, on Twitter, on Twitch, and on Instagram. On Twitter and Instagram, I just post daily musings, and on YouTube I do live reactions to Nintendo Directs and press conferences, and during this E3 I'll be doing live reactions to Microsoft, Ubisoft, Square Enix, and Nintendo, as well as uploading gameplay from my appointments on the show floor. Nice. And I'll be in attendance at the Nintendo World Championships the Saturday prior to E3, and I'll be doing a live reaction to the Pokemon Sword and Shield Direct that's happening the Wednesday before E3. So I have a lot of Nintendo content coming up, and a Japan vlog from Kyoto at Nintendo headquarters. A lot of videos.
I need to see the Japan vlog stuff.
It's going to be fun. I can't wait.
One day, God willing, I'll be there. Hopefully next year. I'm hoping to go next year.
So cool, man. It's so cool.
So the idea here is for those that are new to what's actually going on. What I've been doing is inviting guests on and getting their 5 predictions for E3 for Nintendo, and then we kind of just discuss and break it down and all that stuff. So, Roger, let's just jump right into this. What is your first prediction for Nintendo for 2019?
So this is a really, really easy one, and I feel like a pretty obvious one too. I think Link's Awakening is going to get a multiplayer mode. I don't know what type of multiplayer mode is going to be revealed, whether it's like a full-on different adventure like Four Swords was when they attached Four Swords to Link to the Past, or if it's going to be co-op in Link's Awakening. But I feel like Nintendo, I mean, they can. It's not to say they won't. I don't think Nintendo in 2019 will release basically just like a remade Game Boy Color game without adding something new to it. And even if they add like the Secret Dungeon and some of the stuff from the Game Boy Color re-release, I think there needs to be some other pull for new content there. And I think the multiplayer is going to be that. So whether it's Four Swords or whatever, I think we're going to end up seeing that during E3.
So my question to you is, will we be able to play with friends or not?
Oh, I hope so, man. I saw that. So the thing is I've been so out of the loop these past like 4 or 5 weeks just because I've been traveling a lot. And I saw that news yesterday, and I truly cannot believe that. I cannot believe that Mario Maker 2 does not allow you to play with friends.
It makes no sense, right?
I think Nintendo is going to change that, right?
You would think.
But I also feel like it's more likely that Link's Awakening, if it had an online multiplayer mode, would allow you to play with friends, just because there's not going to be a leaderboard in Link's Awakening. Well, and I think that was the big reason why they didn't with Mario Maker 2. But I think the focus too would probably be on local multiplayer with like some type of multiplayer mode Link's Awakening, just because of the Joy-Cons and the nature of the system. You break it off and then you have 2 controllers you can play with each other. And obviously, I mean, Link's Awakening was a Game Boy game, so it's not going to require a bunch of different buttons.
No,
just like A, B, and the control stick. That's it.
Well, that was I mean, that's what people are basically saying. The difference between the Game Boy Advance one and the Game Boy one was because the Game Boy one
Right.
you just had the stick, well, the D-pad, the two buttons. At least when the Game Boy Advance one came, you could actually do some additional stuff. So that's what people are like excited about because you can actually have
Right.
the extra slots. That's why that game just ramped up so high in difficulty. I like the idea of multiplayer. I don't know, man. That's tough. That's a tough one.
I know.
for
I
me.
don't know. I don't know how it'll be integrated. I
Yeah.
really don't.
Yeah.
But it's going to be in some way because I also think like you got to remember the Switch is a handheld,
Mm-hmm.
and we had Triforce Heroes, which had multiplayer. Obviously,
Yes.
that was the whole like. Even though that game was not great, it was still the whole look of that game was multiplayer.
Yeah, yeah.
And even like with Link to the Past, when it got re-released on Game Boy Advance, it got Four Swords attached to it. So I feel like they're more likely going to add a multiplayer mode to something that's a handheld Zelda
Okay.
game. And like I said, I mean, if they want this to be a $60 thing, they're going to have to add
They gotta add
some new-
something, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be. I'll buy it regardless. If it's $60, I just
Yeah,
want to see
I'm
the
buying
Wind in HD. I want to see the Kirby boss again. I want to see
Yeah.
like all the weird, quirky things about the game that I
Yeah.
loved. I want to see in HD, but there needs to be some type of greater value proposition for people who are just playing it for the first time.
So let me ask you a question then. Do you
Yeah.
feel that multiplayer is how many players do you think are in this multiplayer version? You think it's just
Up
two
to
players?
4.
Okay, so you think
I
it's
think
gonna
it's
be
up to 4.
kind of like a Four Swords?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's. I think it's going to be something like Four Swords. In fact,
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was like Link's Four Sword Awakening or
Could you
something.
imagine?
You know?
Well, why couldn't they
That'd be
just grab
crazy,
Four
yeah.
Swords and just ramp
That's
it up
it.
a little bit and put it in
Yeah.
there? Good one.
Yeah.
Not bad. Look,
Yeah.
because I don't. I did watch your reaction to the thing,
Right.
but I don't think I've ever heard you talk about it. You probably have, but I didn't just hear about it. What was your thoughts with like the art style and
Oh,
everything?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love the art style. I think
Yeah.
it looks very different from the other Zelda games, which is I think what they need to do. Because I think now that they have obviously the handheld team and the console team
Yeah.
both working on Zelda games on one system,
Yeah.
they need to do something to differentiate them.
Yes.
And yeah, I mean, I like it. I think it's cute. I want a little chibi version of Link for my desk. I think it'd be adorable. Yeah, and I loved like the whole. Obviously, you should know this, Bobby. I loved the anime opening cutscene that they did. with-
Absolutely. Yeah. That was.
Oh, I mean, that's like right up my alley.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, literally everything about that announcement I liked, and it really did come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I expected some type of Zelda game this year, but I honestly thought maybe it would be at the beginning of the year. I mean, I
Yeah.
thought it was going to be like a Skyward Sword HD re-release, or
Mhm.
like re-releasing Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD on the Switch, which
Yeah.
I think they could still do at some point. But really, I'm glad that it's a full-on remake of Link's Awakening.
Before we move on, I just want to know one thing. Do you have
Yeah.
any other predictions around this Zelda game?
Not at all.
Okay,
No.
so then- well, I'm just curious. I'm
I mean,
just
this
curious.
E3,
Yeah.
I feel like this E3, it's an interesting E3 because
Yeah.
we know most of what is coming out this year
Yeah,
already.
yeah.
We think at least, right?
Yes.
With Animal Crossing, Pokemon Sword and Shield, which is having its own separate direct.
Yes.
So I don't expect a lot during the E3 direct. I think that'll all be on Wednesday, and we
Yeah.
might just see some gameplay at Treehouse Live.
Mhm.
Luigi's Mansion 3,
Mhm.
obviously. Animal Crossing, my most anticipated game of the year.
Yeah.
Fire Emblem, Mario Maker 2.
Mhm.
I mean, Marvel Alliance,
Yeah.
Town. I mean, the Astral Chain,
Yeah.
Daemon X Machina. The games go on and on and on. And I feel like there will be some surprises at this year's show,
Yeah.
but I think the majority of the big games we already know about. And so really, in terms of like predicting things, it's more about what can they do to really surprise people with what they've already announced,
Yeah.
and what are some smaller surprises that people really aren't even thinking about,
Yeah.
or that's really on their radar right now because they're
Agreed.
focused on those bigger games.
So I don't want to leave this game. Just this. I don't want to move on. Just this. I want to ask you.
Yeah,
one
it's fine,
more
yeah.
thing. So
Of course.
2 questions. One,
Okay.
do you feel like we get any type of amiibo for this game? And two,
Yes.
do you believe there's some type of collector's edition that we get, or is it just the game?
Yes to both, and I
Okay.
think both will be announced at a later date. I don't
Yeah.
think it's going to be an E3 thing. I think if we do get an E3 announcement, it might be an amiibo because they've
Yeah.
been doing that the past couple of years
Yeah.
during Treehouse Live. They show off the amiibo,
Mhm.
but yeah, beyond that, I don't think
Well,
so. There's
because-
got to be some type of amiibo functionality in it too, though, right? Like I didn't mention that. I mentioned multiplayer, but there's
Yeah.
got to be something, especially with all the weird crossovers that are in Link's Awakening.
Yeah.
They've got the Chain Jumps, the Goombas, Kirby. I mean, there's references to all these other Nintendo
Yeah.
games, so I feel like it'd be strange to not have some type of amiibo support.
I agree. I
Yeah.
and if they do drop it, it's typically because here's the thing. That's the one character that didn't get an amiibo. Because if you
Right.
remember, like all the Links, they
Right.
tend to seem to be liking to put out different versions of Link for that 30th anniversary collection.
Yep.
I mean, even Young Link. I mean, they have a million Link amiibos.
Yeah,
So
they
you
have
would
Young
think,
Link, Majora's Mask Link, Toon Link, Wind Waker Link, the original Smash Link,
yeah,
the Breath of the Wild Link,
Skyward Sword.
Skyward Sword Link. Yeah, wow, they have a lot of
They have
Link
a lot of
amiibos.
different Link amiibos.
And the Wolf Link amiibo too.
And the 8-bit Link. I mean,
And the 8-bit Link.
so
Wow.
they have like different versions of it. So I wouldn't see why they wouldn't do one for this one.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I mean, time will tell. Well, I guess we'll basically see where that goes. Okay, what's your what is your next prediction?
So I started with like the most basic one, and I'm waiting to really do the crazy ones a little bit later on. For the second one, I think this is something that people are also expecting. But I also think I want to temper people's expectations for the C3 because I think a lot of people either are ignoring Nintendo's announcement about retro rebooting Metroid Prime 4, or they're just not really thinking about it. But I really don't think we're going to get anything Metroid Prime 4 related at this E3 at all. Like not even a teaser, not a screenshot, nothing. However, what I think is going to happen is remember how 2 years ago during E3, the president of Pokemon Company was sitting at his desk at the offices of the Pokemon Company, and he said, hey, we have nothing to show, but just to let you know, Pokemon is going to be coming to the Switch. We're going to be announcing that soon. I think the same type of thing is going to happen with somebody over at Retro Studios. And I think what we'll see is somebody at Retro Studios saying, hey, it's not quite time to show off Metroid Prime 4 just yet, but we have a special thing for all of you who've been waiting for a Metroid game on Switch. We are re-releasing the Metroid Prime trilogy on Switch, and it's coming out this fall. That's something that's been heavily rumored literally since the launch of the Switch, ever since we found out that Metroid Prime 4 was going to come to the system. People were like, well, then they have to re-release the original 3 games because then, if people haven't played those, how are they going to know the story of Metroid Prime 4? So I do think Metroid Prime Trilogy is going to get announced at this E3. I think it's going to come out this fall, maybe around like September, October. And I think it'll be a $60 game, obviously.
Oh, absolutely.
But I can't wait. I mean, and I also think it's going to sort of show us what a Metroid Prime game could look like in HD because those games still never got re-released in HD. You could play them using the cool like HDMI hookup thing for the Wii, but I don't think it really upscaled them to 1080p or anything. I think this will natively make those games 1080p and really make them look nice. And I think maybe they'll build upon that engine for Metroid Prime 4. Maybe that's actually what got Retro to develop Metroid Prime 4 again in the first place. We really don't know why Nintendo stepped away from that other developer. Maybe Retro was working on the engine to port over the Metroid Prime games. They weren't really happy with the studio that was developing Metroid Prime 4, saw their engine and went, oh, you know what? How about you guys just make it again?
It's possible. And I've also heard rumors that like they may tap Armature to come back. Because Armature is basically the team, or a lot of people that worked on the original Prime series moved to Armature, and they're not really doing a whole lot. So there is a rumor that they are going to tap them to come back and do, but I don't know whether that's true or not. But it would make sense, right? You would go like, hey guys, why don't you come? And they were also hiring recently. There's some ads through Nintendo's website that they're actually hiring like lead artists and directors at Retro. So, I mean, I need to talk to you off the air about this because I have some things that I kind of know about Retro and you. I know.
Before we get off the topic of Retro,
Okay.
Here's one thing I'll add to my Metroid Prime trilogy prediction.
Okay.
Because a lot of people brought this up that I think you probably know where I'm going with this, is Reggie had that picture that he posted on Twitter. Remember when he retired? And we had that picture, and it had like Diddy Kong and Donkey Kong and Samus and the Metroids. There was a character with a robot arm that was covered by like a trophy that was on his desk.
Okay.
We've never seen that character before. So I think that if Retro doesn't announce Metroid Prime Trilogy, we could see a new IP from Retro or a game featuring that character. Because that was a thank you letter from Retro Studios.
Okay.
So I feel like that's got to be tied to either a new project or that's a character from Metroid Prime 4 we haven't met yet or something. So.
Okay. I what? I've teased this for so long. And I think I should just tell the story. Okay.
Just tell the story. Okay. All right, let's hear it.
I could get in trouble.
Well, actually, hold on. Wait. No, hold on. Wait.
Okay.
Wait. If it's something crazy that you think I'll have a big live reaction to at E3, don't tell me. Because I'd rather go in not knowing anything. That's always way more fun, going into E3 not knowing anything. So if it's something that you know is going to happen for sure, do not tell me. Because it'll make my live reactions less fun.
You know what? It's not Okay, it's so I'm not gonna say anything. I'm gonna.
Okay.
I've basically this is the last thing that I said on it was
Okay.
if this retro IP that's rumored
Yeah.
does not make its show, then I
Uh-huh.
am going to come out with news of what I know.
Okay. Okay.
And that's more or less
Spicy
where-
hot scoop with Bobby.
Yeah,
All
well,
right.
we'll see.
I like
We'll
this.
see. You know, because
All right.
there's so many conflicting stories,
Yeah.
and the stories that I was told, just I believe them. I really do
All
believe.
right.
Them.
All
so
right.
we'll get into it. Whatever.
I'm excited.
So
all right.
I don't know. Anyway, so I think you're right with the Metroid Prime trilogy stuff. I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I think as a troll move, I would love to see him throw Federation Force in there. Just
Oh
to
my God.
And the only reason is because that
You mean the actual Metroid Prime trilogy, Federation Force, Pinball, and Hunters. That's the actual Metroid Prime trilogy. So.
Well, listen, you have Metroid Prime Federation Force, right? That actually, that ties people that don't realize that ties to the series. Like there's a scene at the end of that game. That
I mean, you can
ties
spoil it at this point. Yeah.
basically a villain, an enemy shows up at the end of it, and it kind of ties in to go like, hey, wait a minute, this is gonna be the next to be continued storyline moving forward. So I think it makes a lot of sense. I'm hoping that it does come, and I'm hoping that they do some work to it, because I haven't been able to play a Metroid Prime game. I've always gotten sick to my stomach with them. So if they can just give me 60 frames per second, I know I can play it.
Right on.
So that would be...
Give me 60 frames, give me 1080p HD,
Yeah.
720p on the Switch, I'm good.
Yeah, that'll be good to go. All right, third prediction. What do you got for me?
All right, third prediction, brand new game. I think we're going to see it during the Ubisoft conference. I've brought this up. This is like my spicy hot prediction that I've been bringing to every single prediction video ever since the very first one I did, which was with Josh like a month ago.
Okay.
I think we are going to get a Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle sequel at this E3. That game sold incredibly well.
Yeah.
It is the 9th best-selling game of all time on the Nintendo Switch. Clearly, the developers who made that game love it.
Yep.
We had DLC last year as well at E3. They showed off the Donkey Kong Adventure DLC, which was also fantastic. And I think, they already have the engine. The team clearly loves working on it, and it made me love the Rabbids. And so my prediction is that we're getting Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle 2 at Ubisoft's conference, and that there will be a focus on Wario in this game. I think there's going to be like Wario as a playable character with you, one of your party members, and that we're also going to get like Wario. So basically, like how the Rabbids always say "Wah," so I think it'll be like a Wario kind of thing. I don't know what it's going to be, but I think Wario is going to be a focus, and I think it's going to be a Kingdom Battle 2 game. Yep,
I definitely am with you on that. 100%. I actually, when I did a show with Toby and we did our predictions like a couple months ago or whatever, I did predict the same thing. That I felt like Ubisoft really likes to put out games over and over and over again, sequels. And when something does so well that, for them, they basically did a huge DLC expansion pack for for the second game. Well, not second game, but they followed up the first year with that. There's no doubt in my mind they're going to follow it, but I think we're going to get Bowser. Is this one?
I could see like Bowser, Wario, Waluigi, and like Rosalina or something as party members. Like they're going to do something where like there's 4 completely new Mario party members.
Yeah.
Like I think the old characters will come back. I just think we're going to get more party members with new crazy abilities and stuff. Rosalina seems like one of the most likely. Rosalina and Wario are the two that like I would put money on.
Yeah. I think we'll definitely... I just feel like the villain, to me... Although, you know what, man? Miyamoto is very weird with his with that franchise. So maybe he told him you can't touch Bowser yet. Who knows? But...
Maybe. Yeah, I don't think Bowser would be the villain again, though. I think... Like I said, maybe Wario. If he's not a party member, I could see Wario being the main villain. But I think Wario is going to be a big part of the next one.
Now, I mean, obviously, Miyamoto's got to be on the stage, right?
Of course. Yeah, I think... Well, because Ubisoft has already announced that there's 3 currently unannounced AAA games they're showing off at their Ubisoft conference. Yeah. So I'm assuming Watch Dogs 3 is one of them.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming either a new Splinter Cell or the new Assassin's Creed game, that Viking game.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably one of them. And I think the third one is Mario and Rabbids 2.
Yeah, I think definitely Mario Rabbids 2. No doubt. And I don't think they're ready to move. Let's put it this way. If they do talk about something new with Starlink, I believe it's an absolute. I think they're done with Starlink, and they
I
make
don't
a
think
Star Fox
Like
game.
I saw some people predicting like, oh, they'll make a Star Fox game, or oh, there'll be like some other new IP they're working on of Nintendo's. I don't think that's the case. I really think they tried something with Starlink and they were like, okay, this was cool, but Mario and Rabbids works for us.
Yeah.
Let's just do this.
I mean,
again.
I could
really
see...
people want it. And if you look at this year too, we have a mainline Mario game in the summer with Mario Maker 2. But there's always a big Mario spinoff later on in the year. And you can argue, well, we have that already with Luigi's Mansion, but Luigi's Mansion is really its own kind of franchise.
Yeah.
I don't consider it is, but I don't consider Luigi's Mansion a spinoff of the Mario games. I think that's its own thing that's going to own October. You know, you look at the potential release schedule for this year. You've got November for Sword and Shield, probably December for Animal Crossing. You've got like September... I don't know, like Link's Awakening or something. October. What else? I mean, there are games for every month except for August.
Yeah.
Well, August is the one month that like we don't really know.
Wait, I thought Astral Chain was August.
Is it? Well, then I don't know. Maybe then we do.
I think we have a game for every single month because
that's
July.
Crazy,
because July's with Fire Emblem. Yeah. And I could have sworn that Astral Chain was August.
Yeah, you might be right.
And then
you might be right.
I think Animal Crossing September, but I've heard two things: September, December. And then
I think it's the very tail end of the year. This is not one of my predictions, but I have the unfortunate feeling that even if Animal Crossing gets an announcement of like a late in this year holiday 2019 release date at E3, I feel like of all the games we already know about, that one has the potential to be pushed to the spring of next year.
God,
and I don't want it to happen. I really don't. You know this.
I
love
Animal
Crossing is like one of my favorite franchises of all time.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for a console Animal Crossing, but I really feel like just because they have so many games coming out, they might just push it.
Yeah. And the only other reason why I could see them pushing it is because listen, I think that if Animal Crossing hits, they're going to have a console tied to it. And I think that if and if this Pro is coming and it's not ready by the end of the year, I think they push Animal Crossing to kind of go coincide.
Here's a non-E3 prediction for you. Here's a non-E3 prediction, but it's a prediction I want to share with you nonetheless.
Yeah.
You know, Nintendo said, we're not showing off new hardware at E3. They said that exact statement when the DSi was announced. When the DSi got announced, if you remember, they had the DS. There were rumors of a new type of DS.
Yeah.
Nothing came out about it. And then like 2 weeks after E3, they were like, here's the DSi.
Yeah.
And it was like a shadow drop release. It was like, it's coming out next month.
Yeah.
I truly feel like they could do that like 2 weeks after the C3. And in fact, I could even see it happening earlier than that. I could see them announcing it right after E3 and then saying, by the way, we have Mario Maker 2 bundles with this new system.
Oh, God, man.
Because that would, they'd sell out of it. If there was a new
because think
version
about
of the Switch, they would sell out of it immediately if it was a Mario Maker.
Don't you find it weird that there was no Mario Maker Switch announced? Like, that blew me away, man.
Yeah. So I think they might be holding it for the new system. Because that does seem like something you would bundle with the Switch.
Well, dude, they did a Mario Maker Wii. Or a Wii U. So they did a Wii U with a Mario Maker, and they put that modern Mario amiibo in it. And all this stuff, like, why would you not? It makes no sense why you wouldn't.
Yeah.
But,
so even if that doesn't happen weeks after E3, I think by the end of this year we're getting a Mario Maker bundle with the Switch. But that's not an E3 prediction.
Yeah.
That is 1 of 5. Yeah.
One thing before we move on with the Ubisoft thing is I really believe that Ubisoft showed Nintendo enough that Nintendo will give them the Star Fox franchise and go make us a new not anytime soon. It's not for this year.
I liked their cool depiction of Wolf.
Dude, they did a hell of a job with that game.
They did a good job with Wolf. I like it.
I mean, you think about it. Most people bought that game on Switch because they wanted. The minute they announced Star Fox, it was game over, man.
Oh yeah, of course.
Sony and Xbox should have just been like, "Don't even bring the game here. Like, it's not going to suck here. Like, this is a waste of time, people."
Yeah.
Okay, where we at? Prediction 4.
So I talked about multiplayer in Link's Awakening. I talked about a Retro Studios announcement, most likely Metroid Prime Trilogy. I talked about Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle 2. I've got 2 big ones left.
Oh boy.
I want to know. One is Smash related, obviously.
Okay.
Do you want me to end with Smash Bros, or do you want me to do the other kind of bonkers one next?
I want you to do the bonkers one last.
Okay.
Last.
Because,
All right,
we're doing Smash then. Okay.
Because here's the thing. everybody knows you're gonna. They know you. They know you're gonna have a Smash prediction. Let's come on. Like you're Mr. Smash in my mind. Like I think anytime
in Nintendo's mind too, they hit me up. Before I went to my Japan trip and said, "Hey, you want to play Smash Bros with Nintendo employees at your house?" I was like, "Yeah."
I know.
So like, JC came over.
Yeah, I was
like,
great.
What the
heck is Roger got Nintendo employees at his house? Like, what is going on?
It was great.
Yeah. So,
to be fair though, I've known JC for like literally a decade. So
no, and that's fine.
When they were like, "Oh, JC's coming over," I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
I thought like because Reggie had just retired and they said they were doing something special. I thought for a second because he followed me on Twitter. I was like, "Oh my god, Reggie followed me on Twitter. What if?" There's no way. Like, what if Reggie's coming to my house? And then they were like, "Oh, it's gonna be JC." I was like, "Aw, man." I love JC, but I was like, "Come on, that's my boy." So
that's amazing. Yeah, no, let's do the Smash one first, and then we'll do the bonkers one last.
My Smash one is we're getting 2 characters at E3. One is going to release during the week of E3. The other one's going to get announced and will come out in the fall.
Okay.
The one that will shadow drop at E3, they might open the E3 Direct with it. They might put it during the Nintendo World Championships. Whenever.
Yeah.
It's not going to be their final announcement. It's just going to be one of their earlier announcements during this E3 is going to be the shadow drop of Erdrick from Dragon Quest. I completely believe that rumor. Yeah. I 100% believe that rumor that Erdrick's going to be in the game. Dragon Quest is a massive Japanese franchise. That's one of the only other big Japanese franchises that doesn't have any representation in Smash at all. Yeah. That would just make a lot of sense. Yeah. And like I said, there's been so many rumors about it and data mines and stuff. I think it absolutely has to happen, especially because the definitive version of Dragon Quest XI is coming to Switch this year. I think Nintendo really does want to do that cross promotion with that character. I completely agree the rumor that it's going to have like an alternate costume or alternate skin of the protagonist of Dragon Quest XI. I think that's going to happen. And I think that character is going to shadow drop during E3 week because Joker came out 2 months ago. Yeah. Joker came out in April. It will be 2 months as of E3. Yeah. I think they're going to want to stick to that, 2-month time frame throughout the rest of the year. I think July we won't get anything. August we will, or like maybe September we will, and then October we won't get anything. November we won't. December we will, and then February we'll get the final character because they said it's going to be 5 by February 2020. So it just makes sense to shadow drop Erdrick during E3. Things have been really quiet on the Smash front, despite that like VR update that the game got literally today, which is very strange. And I really do. I think Erdrick's ready. I think they've been working on that for a long time, and I think that's something that they're going to need to open with because I think for Japan that's going to be a huge announcement. People are going to go insane, but I think the North American audience isn't really there for Dragon Quest as much as it is in Japan, and I think they're going to want a second E3 level character announcement for the one more thing during their E3 Direct.
That's very possible. That's very possible. Yeah. And I think
now
I will be as bold as to make the second prediction of the character. I do you want me to say mine? Go ahead. Same thing. I didn't know if you had one. Go ahead.
Okay. Want to say it on 1, 2, 3?
I don't know if we have the same people.
Let's just say it doesn't matter. Let's try it. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Ryu.
Banjo-Kazooie.
No.
Wait, what? Whoa! Time out. No.
Ryu Hayabusa.
No. You're following that rumor about like Doom Guy and now get out of here.
No, from Tecmo, from Ninja Gaiden.
I know from Ninja Gaiden. No,
I'm telling you.
I mean, he might be in it, but he's not an E3 level announcement. What I think is going to happen is Nintendo and Microsoft have been so buddy over the course of the past however many months. And I think this year, both of them really have nothing to lose because Sony's not going to be at the conferences. Microsoft is probably going to have some type of announcement that has something to do with Switch. In fact, they definitely will during their conference because Cuphead is getting DLC. Yeah. Cuphead came to Switch. Cuphead, one of my favorite games of all time. I got Cuphead literally on my desk. I love Cuphead, Mugman. I think we are going to get the first gameplay of that DLC they announced last year during the Microsoft conference. Obviously, that is also coming to Switch. That's been announced via their website already. So I think that already is definitely going to be there. I completely believe the rumors about Ori and the Blind Forest coming to Switch as well, because that same rumor said that we were going to get Cuphead early in the year. We got that. And I think what is going to happen is I think there will either be a port of Rare Replay, the game that was on Xbox One with all the old Rare games. I think there will be a port of Rare Replay coming to Switch, or there will be a new Banjo game announced during the Microsoft conference that will cross-release on the Switch. And I also think that Battletoads game that got announced last year is also going to come to Switch.
That's what I was going to say.
I think there's going to be a lot of Nintendo and Microsoft collaboration at this year's E3, and I think to top the whole thing off, especially if there's like a new Banjo game or something during Microsoft's conference. I think the one more thing during the E3 Direct for Nintendo is going to be and you're going to see like a pan out and it's a puzzle piece and you're going to see Banjo-Kazooie. I would love Banjo or Master Chief. I think Master Chief would also break the internet if they ended up porting over the Master Chief collection and bringing that to Switch. That'd be insane. But I think Banjo just makes the most sense because he has such a tie with Nintendo history. Obviously he was a huge write-in for the fighter ballot. Phil Spencer's gone out of his way to say that, yes, if they ask, we will put Banjo-Kazooie in the game. And just considering how buddy-buddy they are, there's no way we don't get a Microsoft character in that fighter pass at some point. And the only time to announce it that makes sense to me is E3. Because I think if we get, Ryu from Ninja Gaiden or an Undertale character or something, one of the only few characters that's left, those characters, like Frisk from Undertale or Ninja Gaiden, even like Dante from Capcom, I don't think that stuff would be as internet breaking as Banjo-Kazooie or Master Chief.
But
I think that is the story they want coming out of this E3.
I get that. I get that. But don't you feel that the remaining characters are going to be Japanese based? Do you think you don't think that? You don't think
no.
Because that was something floating around for a while too, that like Nintendo wants to build partnerships with these companies and kind of grow these Japanese.
We already have Joker from Atlas. We already have probably already have Erdrick from Dragon Quest from Square. So another rep from Square. I think we'll probably get another Capcom rep at some point. Maybe even another Namco one. But no, I feel like this would be the time, because don't you think like E3, if we are going to get a Western character, it'll probably be a Microsoft character. Now would be the time to do it, because when else? Like they're not going to announce it at Tokyo Game Show. Who's going to care at Tokyo Game Show? I think they need something for the Japanese audience, which is Dragon Quest, and they need something for the Western audience, which is Banjo or Master Chief or something. But I think it's going to be Banjo, but I would put money on it being a Microsoft character that's going to close out their E3.
See, I could see Nintendo doing the Japanese character during the Smash tournament, because that's what Japanese people are going to watch. I don't think Japanese are really super focused on E3 itself. They might watch later, but it's not necessarily like this massive thing. This is an American or a North American thing,
right?
Focused more towards North America. So I think you could be right on that aspect. But let me just throw this wrinkle.
Yeah.
What if it was the Battletoads? Was the other character?
It won't be.
You really think it's Banjo?
I feel Master Chief would be in before the Battletoads. I really do. Yeah, I think it's going to be something like internet breaking, like Banjo or Master Chief. The only reason I say that too is because of Joker. I think if you asked me this like 4 months ago, 5 months ago, I would have been like, yeah, right, whatever. Like prior to that Game Awards announcement, but when we got Joker at the Game Awards, that was like an all bets are off moment, because I felt that with Cloud, where I thought, oh wow, really anything's possible. But then like Cloud still was on games on Nintendo platforms before. He was in Chain of Memories, Theatrhythm. We all knew at some point 7 was going to get ported to the Switch because Square loves porting over their Final Fantasy games. So to me, like Cloud, it was shocking. But I knew that was something that people have been asking about and wanting for a long time. And they have a good relationship with Square. And Final Fantasy is a big franchise. So I feel like they didn't, but they do now.
They do now.
Right. Yeah. So I feel like that even made more sense than Joker. When Joker got announced, that's like Persona's never been on Nintendo platforms ever outside of the Q games. Shin Megami Tensei has always been on the Nintendo platforms, but why wouldn't it be like Jack Frost or something? Joker doesn't. I mean, we still haven't got Persona 5 on Switch. We're getting like that Scramble game or whatever. So that is like the all bets are off moment. I really feel like, Master Chief or Banjo are going to be.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I would love Banjo. And the reason why I say Ryu is because in my heart, I feel they're staying focused on Japanese companies.
And we might get Ryu at some point in the future. I wouldn't be surprised if we get him, because he is an iconic character, right? Ninja Gaiden has ties to Nintendo. Ninja Gaiden's already on Nintendo Switch Online,
and Tecmo has no representation.
Bro, and Tecmo's been making so many of their games recently.
So that's what I'm thinking.
I could absolutely see that happening, but I just don't think it's Fighter Pass character number 3 if the third character gets announced at E3. And I really strongly think we're getting
You're probably right.
I think one drops during the week and one gets announced that will come out later in the year.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, I can respect that. All right.
Yeah.
So what's this final prediction.
So it's gonna be weird. Just prepare. It's weird.
Okay.
But I also feel really strongly about this too.
Okay.
You got to remember the Switch is a handheld system.
Yes.
People forget that the Switch is a handheld system.
Yes.
And, traditionally, when people are thinking about what franchises are going to come to the Switch, they're thinking about big mainline home console releases. They're thinking of the Metroids. They're thinking of the Zeldas. That's the kind of stuff they're thinking about. I think we need to take a step back and realize the Switch is sort of going to be a system for everybody while still appealing to the hardcore. They've already been doing that. And I think they have so many games tailored for the hardcore at this E3 that I think we're going to get the announcement of a major mainstream type Nintendo game at E3 to come out later this year for Nintendo Switch. And I have a couple ideas for what this game could be, but thinking sales-wise and thinking about what else would pair nicely with an Animal Crossing game, I think the one big handheld franchise that consistently sells millions and millions of copies, that has not had a new game in a very long time, and that if it was going to have a mobile game, probably would have been announced already. And we already have Mario Kart Tour. Now we have the Pokemon Sleep stuff. There's other games that are coming to mobile. So I don't think this game is coming to mobile anytime soon. I think we are getting a new Nintendogs.
Interesting.
Yeah. I feel like pretty strongly we're getting a new Nintendogs. And I don't know what the pull of it's going to be, but I think just by nature of it being on an HD console, it's going to be really cool to be able to see these really high res dogs and cats and play with them and do cute things and do all the things you normally do in dogs games, but also be able to play it on the go. And it's also clear from the release of that Little Friends game that came on Switch recently, when that game got announced, everybody was talking about oh my God, we want a new Nintendogs now. We want a new Nintendogs. I think Nintendo realizes that, and I think they've been planning that for a while. And I think there are other mainstream games this could be. We might get the announcement of a small Brain Age for eShop. We might get a new Tomodachi Life. Those games have always sold a ton of copies on both DS and on 3DS. I could see that. I could even see a Mii Sports Resort instead of Wii Sports Resort, some type of new Wii Sports kind of game. But the one, when looking at Wii Sports, Nintendogs, Brain Age, and Nintendo Land even. I think, Nintendo Land sold a lot on Wii U.
Yeah.
You got to remember that game was only bundled with the Wii U in North America.
Yeah.
And that game still sold tons of copies in Japan. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get a new Nintendo Land at some point. But the one that makes the most sense to me is Nintendogs. And I think that will be announced at this E3, which is also where they announced Nintendogs for the first time all those years ago. I think people forget that, there's history there with E3 and with Nintendogs. And so I think, it's very possible that we get a new Nintendogs at this E3, and that's one of those surprise games that's still coming out this year that really people aren't talking about. So I feel like the two surprise games, going back to my earlier predictions, are going to be Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle 2 and Nintendogs and Metroid Prime Trilogy. Those are probably the big three: a port, a sequel, and a reboot.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Do you believe at all A Link to the Past is actually a reality?
No.
You don't think that's reality?
I think that's probably a placeholder for a release on the SNES, whatever the Nintendo Switch Online thing is for Super Nintendo games. I think that's probably a placeholder that wasn't supposed to go up for Link to the Past getting re-released via Nintendo Switch Online. I could see that happening at E3, where they finally announce we're bringing Super Nintendo games to Nintendo Switch Online, and then they just drop that day of the show, right? And then Link to the Past is there too. I could see that happening. But I mean, that's it. I don't think I've been seeing rumors of Link's Awakening and Link to the Past both being on one cartridge, and they're remaking Link to the Past. BS, man. There's no way in a million years they would bundle a remake of Link to the Past. That would be such a huge deal. They would obviously make that its own separate game. So I think, it's just a re-release.
If they're going to bundle anything, it'd be A Link to the Past and A Link Between Worlds. Those two together, that would make the most sense.
Certainly would not be Link's Awakening and Link to the Past.
We got a few minutes here. Let's just tidy some stuff up here. So
let's hear it.
Mario Maker. We know that they're having this event now. Do you think anything gets announced at that event?
100%. Yeah, I think that's actually the most likely thing to come out of the Nintendo World Championships. In fact, I think a couple things will come out of it. I think there'll be a teaser that there'll be an announcement of a new character during the E3 Direct, during the Smash one, but I don't think they're going to announce a character at that.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is because I'm going in person. I'm going in person to the Nintendo World Championships. If I truly thought there was the potential of a character getting announced, I wouldn't go in person. I would just stay at home. Because I would want, obviously, to record a live reaction for that.
Yeah.
And yes, I could record a live reaction at the actual event,
Yeah.
but it wouldn't be the same.
No.
And so I feel like if I felt that they were going to do that, I probably wouldn't go to the World Championships, but I'm definitely going.
Imagine. Oh.
Yeah.
You,
I'll record just in case.
You
I'll
would
record
literally
just in case.
cry because you were upset that you
I'd be
didn't.
so mad. But actually, to be completely fair, I also probably wouldn't, because if there was one character that I had to miss getting like a live reaction for, it's Erdrick. Because like I like Dragon Quest, but it's not going to be one where I'd be screaming like Isabelle or King K. Rool or Ridley, or it's not one that like I've been waiting for a long time. It's one that we've already kind of known about for a long time. So I'd be like, oh, awesome, cool.
That's one to appease the Japanese fans. That's not
exactly.
One to
but it
us.
wouldn't be something where I'd be like, on my floor sobbing because Pichu and Snake and everyone is here. It's like it's not on the level of the other reveals that I've done reactions to. So, and I think if we get an announcement, it would be Erdrick, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Now,
but what I think is going to happen is I think we're going to get, during the Splatoon portion,
okay,
I think we're going to find out what the deal is with that weird July release date on that building in the background of Splatoon 2. And I think that's going to be tied to the last Splatfest, which will probably get announced during the Splatoon Championships. Yeah. And I think the last Splatfest is going to be Off the Hook versus Squid Sisters. That's my guess. I don't think it'll be Marina versus Pearl.
Could you imagine?
I think it'll be Off the Hook versus Squid Sisters.
Could you imagine if they did that?
Yeah.
And whoever wins are the new two intro characters. Because I'd go old school in a minute.
Right.
I go old school in a minute. Because
no way.
Pearl and Marina, I'm not really into. But,
don't get cooked. Stay off the hook.
I'm voting for Marina and Pearl.
They're waiting.
Yeah.
Dude, Marina and Pearl, they've got that like cool street cred going on, man. I like the two of them. Where they're like chilling on the subway and they've got like their do-rag. I love the two of them, man. They're great.
Do you think we get anything else for Splatoon, or do you think Splatoon 2 is done now?
I think it's done. Okay. And I think next year we might get the announcement of Splatoon 3 at E3.
I just did a video.
Which would make sense. Yeah, but I think Splatoon 2 is done. Yeah. I think Splatfest going to be announced during the thing. And so, like I said, maybe the teaser for a Smash character, Splatfest announcement during the Splatoon portion, and I think the announcement during the Mario Maker portion will be at the very, very end, because you know how it's supposed to be this competition, right? Where they're running through and speed running levels. The very, very end, they're going to pull a wizard, and they're going to say, okay, our final two finalists are up. They're going to be playing a level in Super Mario Maker 2. However, it's going to be in the second game mode that we didn't show off yet. Because you know how in the Direct there was 3D World and the other blank spot?
Yep.
I think it'll be in that second game mode, and I think they're going to show it off there, and the two finalists are going to be forced to play a level using mechanics that they're already not familiar with. And I don't know what that game mode will be. I think the safe bet would be Mario Brothers 2. But I think that's like the lame bet. That's the one everybody thinks is going to happen. What I'm going to say, and I know some people are like, maybe Odyssey, but I think if it was Odyssey, they would have shown that already. Yeah. Because that'd be a really, really big deal. I think it's going to be Super Mario Sunshine, and I think it's going to be Flood Pack. And that you could like go through levels using the different flood. I had like the flood rocket that would shoot you forward, the one that shoots you really high up in the air, and then the one that like allows you to float. I think that would just be really cool to see that in 2D. Yeah. And people have been really craving more Mario Sunshine stuff. People thought that we were going to get Isle Delfino as DLC for Mario Odyssey. In fact, when I got my review copy of Mario Odyssey, I sped run through it because I thought for sure the thing you unlock at the end of the game after Mushroom Kingdom, the thing after you get all the moons, would be Isle Delfino. It wasn't, unfortunately, which was weird because they showed Isle Delfino on the map in the advertising in Japan. Yeah. So that was very bizarre. But I think that somehow, some way, Mario Sunshine is going to get represented, and that's going to be the big surprise. Again, I think everybody's expecting Mario Brothers 2. Yeah. But I think it will be Mario Sunshine.
I wonder if they'll do, because I think them bringing 3D World or 3D World in kind of opened people's eyes to the ability of doing a Galaxy and doing different games that are 3D that you never thought in the 2D realm.
I would love a Galaxy, like a 2D Galaxy where you're going around like little orbiting planets or something would be really cool.
Yeah.
But I also think that's like too much work. Well, that's kind of what I feel about Mario Brothers 2 too. Yeah. Is I feel like with the subspace and the extra doors and the mushrooms and the pulling mechanic, there's just so much other stuff in that would, I mean, they'd really have to add a lot to it. Whereas like a Mario Sunshine thing would be like Cat Mario, where it adds more mechanics and more moves for Mario, but it's not something that like drastically changes these levels. Yeah. And so that's why I'm sticking to Mario Sunshine. Yeah. I feel pretty confident about that too.
It'll be kind of cool is if they allowed us to build levels like in Odyssey, where
That would be amazing.
like it turned and did all these different things, and
Yeah.
that was so cool. That would have been
See, Odyssey to me, that just seems like too much. You know, I feel like
Yeah.
the ability to then take over other enemies and stuff like that seems like way too much to
Yeah.
have not already announced that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like that seems like something they would have shown in that direct.
yeah,
Whereas like a Mario Sunshine thing would be a fun little E3
yeah.
announcement. To be fair, so would Mario Brothers 2 or whatever. But
with okay, so we've kind of gone down the rabbit hole. Do you think we see Bayonetta 3? Do you think that
no,
gets
nothing
you
about
you
it.
don't
Nothing
think
at all.
Bayonetta 3?
In fact, I know for a fact we're not seeing Bayonetta 3. I will tell you for a fact we are not seeing Bayonetta 3 at this E3.
You just broke my heart.
No way. Because if you think about it, Platinum's working on 2 games already.
Yeah.
They're working on Bayonetta 3 and they're working on Astral Chain.
Yeah,
The Platinum employees have gone out of their way to be like, this is the year of Astral Chain. Like, don't expect Bayonetta stuff this year.
yeah.
I think if we get anything Bayonetta 3, it will be a trailer for the game at the Game Awards this year in December. I truly do not think we are seeing anything about that game until at the earliest October or like September for the fall direct. But I feel pretty strongly that like if we don't see it at the Game Awards, we'll see it in the January direct. But I feel like that is a Game Awards type of announcement.
Yeah,
you know, they announced the game at the Game Awards for God's sake. Why would they not show the trailer of the game there? So
Damon X Machina, whatever.
who cares?
But
Whatever.
I'm
Move
saying,
on.
do you think that gets delayed, or you think that they
No,
push-
I think they're just like they're shipping that baby out. Yeah.
that game?
Yeah, because I know I never played the demo, but I heard rough things about it,
was
and I was like, ugh. And it sucks because I was really excited for that when it first got announced 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Or was that last
That was
year?
last
I don't
year,
even remember.
It was last year. Yeah.
It feels like it's been development for a long time,
Yeah.
but it looked really cool to me,
Yeah.
and then just like for whatever reason, it stopped looking cool to me.
Yeah, it's I don't know what they did to it.
It looks fine. I mean, like if you like Armored Core, I think that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'm willing to give it a chance if it gets good reviews, but otherwise, I think who cares?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But Roger, thank you for coming on, man.
Oh, we're not done yet.
Oh, we're
have other
not?
things to-
What are we gonna do? What do you
we have
got?
to talk about Town.
Okay,
So
okay.
Town is coming out this year. I think Town's 2020. I don't
Okay.
think that's coming out this year. Luigi's Mansion is going to come out in October, and we'll also have a multiplayer mode. What else didn't we talk
Well,
about?
because
yet?
Which call has multiplayer mode, right? The
Right.
one on the 3DS.
Right.
So
And
that would
Nextdoor
make
is
sense.
developing This, so. Yep. I think Fire Emblem Three Houses we're going to see a lot about, but I hope we don't see a lot of story stuff about because
Yeah.
I'm really excited for that game, and I don't want to be spoiled
I don't wanna
on
be
anything. But that's like one of my most. I would say Animal Crossing's number one.
Mm-hmm.
And then literally right under it would be Three Houses. And then right under Three Houses is Death Stranding. And then right under Death Stranding is Sword and Shield.
Are you?
And then I would say under Sword and Shield is Astral Chain. But those 5 are like the games I can't wait.
Death Stranding. I watched that trailer yesterday. It did nothing for me, man.
Bro, it doesn't matter. Like
I know.
You don't
I
need
love
to, You don't need to
Kojima.
understand.
I love Kojima.
Kojima's one of those auteurs that like his trailers never make sense. And then you play the game and you're like, oh. His
you know
stuff is
what?
just so good.
Yeah.
He's like a soccer. You know,
Yeah,
it's
you're
like
right. You're right.
he's got that seal of approval for me for like, I don't know what's going on still.
Yeah.
I read the synopsis on the website and it sort of makes sense now,
Yeah.
but like about the connections between people.
It
and
started
going
to
back-
make a little bit of sense yesterday.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it more sense than the past. But
like,
still, I
man,
was just like,
I want to play it just to find out what the heck it's about, you know?
Oh, God.
And I love Kojima games
Yeah.
and I'm excited to do a playthrough.
I did love
of that.
Metal
I
Gear
was not
Solid 5.
expecting- I really did not expect that game was going to come out this year. I thought
didn't
that was
either.
like a 2020 release for sure. So when they dropped like, oh, this is November,
yeah.
I was like, what?
I thought
You
that
know,
was
like,
a PS5 game. I really
Oh,
did.
for sure.
I
For
really
sure.
did.
I thought it was going to get like a cross release like Metal Gear Solid 5. Yeah, I thought for sure that game was not coming out. But the fact that it's coming out this year,
Yeah.
November is going to be nuts.
Let me
for
ask you a question.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Do you feel like we're getting off on a tangent with Kojima, but do
It's
you
okay.
feel like he's ready to release that game, or do you feel like Sony was like, okay, man, let's go?
No, I think he's ready.
You're
I
okay.
actually think Sony got scared.
Mhm.
And I think Sony was planning on having Last of Us 2 come out this year
Yeah,
and saw Death Stranding was coming out and was like, we're going to wait. Like,
possible.
because Last of Us has a really strong and really huge fan base.
Oh,
People
yeah,
who love
man.
that game
I can't wait for
love
that
that game.
Yeah.
But Days Gone literally just came out, and that
Yeah.
game was booty cheeks, and it was
Yeah.
also a zombie game, and I think they don't want to release 2 zombie games in 1 year.
Yeah.
And so I think that Last of Us 2 is going to be a game for next year, and I think Death Stranding is the big game for this.
I think Last of Us 2 is their Zelda, where it goes on PS4 and
on
5.
both. And
they're
completely
gonna
agree.
Yeah, they're going to do that.
Yep.
Because that game's so
Yep.
huge, and Naughty
Yep.
Dog does amazing stuff.
Yep.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Let's jump into this
Yeah.
real quick, because we got a little bit of time.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah.
Animal Crossing.
Oh, what do you want to? We could talk about this for half an hour. So where do
That's
you want
fine.
to
Let's
start?
get into this, because you know
I
what?
love Animal Crossing.
There's only one
Yeah.
other person I could talk to serious
Gosh.
about Animal
Yeah.
Crossing, and I already did that. So you know what? It's your turn now.
Yeah. So yeah.
Let's do this. What do you think? What was? I want to do this. What's one thing that you think, maybe a new mechanic that's going to be done? What's
Okay.
something that you want to come back? And what would
Okay.
be your pie in the sky for this game? Like, what are you hoping this game is? Because
Okay.
people are scared. This could go all Nintendo. What I'm saying
Are
is
you kidding, bro? They could literally re-release New Leaf in HD with all the furniture from Pocket Camp, and I would buy that day one. Like,
listen, I'm buying it no matter
there are
what.
so
Don't worry
many-
about that.
I know, but there are so many good furniture sets that are in Pocket Camp, and Pokemon Company finally eased up on having Pokemon furniture because of that Let's Go event that happened in Pocket Camp. Bro, they could literally just bring over all that furniture and allow me to decorate a house filled with that stuff, and I'd be happy.
Okay.
So there's very little way they'll disappoint me.
Okay.
I don't know if you saw the tweet that I made a little while ago.
No.
But Nintendo is playing these like little videos on the train in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
They're like little either safety videos or trivia videos or something on the Japanese trains that show like an HD Animal Crossing with Isabelle and KK and with
God.
Porter. So
Yeah.
like you see, there's video of it literally on my Twitter account
Let's
taken
go check it
directly
out.
from the Japanese trains. So I think the game will probably look something like that.
Okay.
And bro, I'm just excited, man.
Okay,
The thing I expect,
Okay.
I expect it's going to be a heavy focus on online. Like a heavy focus. I think there's going to be something where like the towns are always online, and like you and I could live in the same town, and no matter when we log on, it directly affects and updates the town. Even if you don't have like an online connection, that you could edit certain things and then it adjusts it for online. There's going to be something with like a heavy online focus. I think that's a safe bet prediction. That's definitely going to happen. Is online. My thing I really want to happen is I want the city to come back from City Folk, but I want it to basically be what New Leaf was, where New Leaf, they had like the shopping area.
Yeah.
With all different, I want that to be incorporated into the city we saw in City Folk, but I want to be able to buy a penthouse in the city. Is what I want. I've wanted like an apartment in Animal Crossing.
Get out.
I mean this. I genuinely mean this. Okay. I want to be able to have my house and then also have like my apartment in the city.
Okay.
And I want it to be like where you look above the city and you look out your giant glass windows and you look down at all the villagers walking around. I think it'd be so cute if they had like city apartments, like skyrise apartments. That's something I've always wanted in the Animal Crossing game, and they'd never delivered on it. I thought when City Folk got announced, I'm like, this is it. We're getting apartments, man. Like, I can't wait. I live in an apartment. I love apartment. Yeah. Apartment living is so fun to me. Like, I like it. So I want that for Animal Crossing. I think it'd be cool to have like this swanky apartment with like all my awesome furniture you can go visit in the city. And then when I'm like, okay, let's actually go home and let's unwind. I have my cabin furniture and I have it decorated for whatever the holiday is.
Yeah.
I think it'd be super cute. And so I want that. That's like what I want.
Okay, so hold on for a second. Hold on.
Okay.
So here's my question. Do you want City Folk City in terms of you have to go get on something and travel to it, or do you want it to be like
I want it to be like New Leaf,
where above, but you actually want like a square when you go up into that section?
I want it. What would be really cute is I would love it to be like an L train, where basically you walk up to the train station and the trains can either take you, like it could either be a Shinkansen, like a bullet train that could take you to your friends' towns, or you take like a local metro train that will take you to the city. That's
cool.
what I would really like.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Okay, what else you got for me?
Yeah. My crazy dream prediction, man, I wish this would happen. This is never going to happen, is that you can buy GameCubes with GameCube games at Nook's shop and then put them in your house. And that the GameCube games are like Melee and Wind Waker and all that stuff. That's like my pie in the sky is never, ever in a million years going to happen.
Yeah.
Because Nintendo is going to want that money and throw those games in the eShop at some point.
Exactly.
But even if it was something like small Game Boy Advance games or something where you get like a little GBA micro that you could buy at the shop and then you play those games, like something where they bring back retro games would be my pie in the sky thing. Yeah.
I would be, so I had a couple of ideas that I felt like what I would be. You're always online thing. I like that. And what I thought was your towns kind of butt up to each other, or
Yeah.
the idea of like opening up access, meaning
Like you could move to my town and have a house in my town.
Well, not necessarily.
Visit whenever you want, pay
Yeah.
off your loan, do
Well,
whatever.
You could do that, but what I was thinking was the idea of me and you are friends, and I can rate your friendship level. Meaning, if you're a 1-star, you could just come when I say you can come. If you're a 2-star, you can come when you want, but you can't do anything. But if you get to like a 5-star, then that basically means, hey, I trust Roger. If I'm not online, he can come over. He can buy stuff
He can
from my
chop
store.
trees down. He can buy stuff.
Whatever
put
you
design
want to do.
stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I know that he's not going to destroy my town when I'm away.
Yeah.
So go. That's what I really hope and want. Because I think that would be fantastic.
See, to me, like Animal Crossing this year is just very strange because last year I tested the waters with playthroughs on my channel. I did Metal Gear Solid: The Twin Snakes, did a whole Metal Gear week, and then I did Pokemon.
Yeah.
And Metal Gear Week, obviously, it's a much smaller franchise than Pokemon, and a lot of my audience like didn't really care about Metal Gear.
Yeah.
So my views were down, but the engagement was really good during that week, and I love that's like one of my favorite franchises of all time. So I liked doing that, and I wanted to get people ready for Death Stranding.
Yeah.
So now Death Stranding's coming out this year. Now I'm like, I have to do a playthrough. And then Pokemon came out last year. That playthrough did awesome. People were watching every day. I like streamed it every other day. It was great.
Yeah.
I want to do the same thing for Sword and Shield.
Yeah.
So that's going to happen. But then after Sword and Shield and Death Stranding are done, it's great because to me, like I love Smash Brothers, but I like reacting to news about Smash and like doing test streams where I'm trying out stuff for the first time instead of just like sitting and playing with viewers.
Yeah.
Or like doing combo videos or whatever. Like that doesn't interest me. I don't care to watch that stuff. I don't care. You know, if I want to play that, I'm going to play on my own against my friends. But for me, what I love watching on YouTube are Animal Crossing YouTubers who design their houses and let you visit their towns and stuff. And so for me, I know full well like Animal Crossing is going to become a really big like third pillar for my channel. Because now I started doing a lot more of the anime reactions with Hunter x Hunter. I'm seeing that's working. So I'm going to continue that with like other stuff in the future. Obviously the One Piece reviews and the read-throughs, those aren't going anywhere. And the Nintendo content, it's been hard to find like something regularly that I can do outside of Smash Brothers. But Fire Emblem, obviously, going to do a playthrough of that. Pokemon, going to do a playthrough of that. But then I think by that point, my fans will be used to me playing like long playthroughs of Nintendo games. And so they'll be okay with me doing Animal Crossing videos. And then that's like, I genuinely really want to get into it and like design anime houses and, you know, go to visit other people's towns and just goof around online. Like that's the kind of thing that I love.
That's the one thing, like that's what Josh's channel. I loved his.
Dude, I know. I love his Dream Diaries.
Suite.
Man.
Oh my God, they're amazing.
My mom watches his Dream Diaries.
They're
I
so
swear
funny,
to God.
man.
Yeah,
the funniest was the time I laughed so hard when he went to the Disney Princess one. And he's freaking out, and I'm like, this is the best ever.
The best one was North Korea. When he visited North Korea, and you see like Kim Jong Un or whatever, and then the square. And, I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah. But no, but that's what like I've always thought. Like when it comes time, this is what I'm doing, and I'm the same way.
know.
Like I can't wait.
I know.
I played that game.
I'm genuinely excited to make content, which is something that like, of course I'm excited to play through Fire Emblem, and of course I'm excited to play through Pokemon too.
Yeah.
But it's different because those games end, right? You get to the end of the story, it's done.
Yeah.
Whereas Animal Crossing, I mean, I've put in so many hours to Animal Crossing, but I know Animal Crossing compared to something like Smash Bros is something I would want to make content on. Whereas Smash, literally Smash is my favorite game of all time.
Yeah.
I've put more hours into the Smash Bros games than any other series. I love it, but it's not my kind of thing. Like I don't want to make content of Smash Brothers because it's just the same thing over and over again. Like battling viewers or like doing combo videos, and neither of those things are particularly engaging to me on YouTube. And not to bash anyone who doesn't.
No.
Just not my
There's
thing.
enough people out there doing
Animal
it.
Crossing videos, bro. That's my shit.
I'm with you. I plan on.
Yeah.
Like I literally, dude. I put 600 hours into New Leaf. No problem at all.
Me too.
And I can easily see myself Sunday mornings firing up and just fishing for hours. I could do 9 hours in a sit through.
Because I do Sunday streams. I do like One Piece live reactions on YouTube. I would totally just like have a stream at 9 a.m. on Twitch where I play Animal Crossing for a couple hours waiting for One Piece to come out and then switch back over to YouTube and do the One Piece stuff. And then all of a sudden, boom, the content's right there. Don't have to worry about it. Be great.
It's awesome. I can't wait for it. The one thing
Yeah.
too is I'm hoping that they take what ultimately I want them to take what they did with New Leaf and just push the envelope a little bit further.
Me too.
Maybe make the land or the town just a little bigger. It doesn't have to be massive, just a little bigger.
Yeah.
I hope the campsite comes back.
I do too.
I
Campsite was
did
cool.
enjoy that. I'm curious if amiibo functionality comes back to that one.
If it doesn't, I'm going to be mad because I went out of my way to buy a Clay the Hamster amiibo card on eBay because he's my favorite villager of all time.
Yeah.
He's my best friend in Animal Crossing New Leaf. I have like multiple versions of his pictures all over my house. I've got like my Cracker Barrel in the basement where he comes over and we have breakfast in the morning. Like Clay the Hamster is my boy. If day one, I can't just scan in my Clay the Hamster card, not day one, but like if it's not easy to scan in my Clay the Hamster card to get Clay into my town, I'm going to be genuinely upset.
I'm with you.
And also, they have so many excess Animal Crossing amiibos at Target and Best Buy and stuff. They need to get rid of that stock. They need to do something with them.
Bro,
so,
Five Below. I just went and just like
they're at Five Below all over the place.
All over the place, man. Like I'm buying these things up like they're crazy, man.
Yeah.
So I'm with you totally. And I mean, I loved being someone that played the game so much. You get it. Like the fact of like you couldn't just bring in the villager you wanted. You know, it just drove me crazy. I literally paid 20 million bells to get Bill into my town.
What?
Facebook was this crazy little underworld.
Well, see, the thing is, for me, that's the luck. Well, for you too. I mean, that's the lucky thing about being on YouTube is that so many people want to be in your videos. Where they'll just be like, "Hey, can I come over? I'll give you all these bells," and then they just give you all this money, and you're like, "All right, thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it." You know. So I'm expecting that'll probably happen quite a bit.
Probably. So. I'm not.
But for me, like animal, like the grind of like paying off your house or whatever. To me, like I like it. I genuinely enjoy it, and even if someone comes and gives me a lot of money or whatever, I either put that in the bank or I just pay off my house and then like I go about doing other things in Animal Crossing because Animal Crossing, literally, the game never ends. You can play it forever.
Never.
Like it's great. It's great, and it's the kind of thing too that like. I think it is the only game that literally every person I know plays. Yeah. Everyone. My mom plays Animal Crossing. My girlfriend is going to play Animal Crossing. I play Animal Crossing. You play Animal Crossing. Yeah. Josh plays Animal Crossing. All of my friends back in Chicago all play Animal Crossing. All my friends in LA play Animal Crossing. My friends and my fans from across the world, in Japan, in Germany, wherever, they all play Animal Crossing. It's more universal for my audience, weirdly enough, considering I have an older demographic that likes anime. You would think they'd be more into Smash Brothers, and they're very into Smash Brothers when it comes to new character announcements and predictions and stuff. But once the hype cycle's over, they just want to play Smash. They don't really care about playing with other people. They just want to either train or play locally or whatever. But Animal Crossing, bro, I can log in every day and play with a friend before I go to bed. It's not like stressful. It's not like something that you have to be like, oh, I have to win this. There's no leaderboard. There's nothing like that. It's just
take your
fun.
time.
So
I literally what I do is I pay off. I wake up in the morning. I run to Nook, to the post office, pay off the loan, right?
Yep.
Go over to Nook, get the next advancement.
Yep.
And then I run down and spend the whole day saving up bells so the next morning I could go do and like I try to pay it off in like 2 weeks. I try to get everything like in 2 weeks. I love that game, dude. It's
fun. It's so
fun.
Wait.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
So, okay. So that is all. Roger, man, thank you so much for coming on, dude. I know this is a very last minute for you. Of course. But I appreciate you making the time for me as always.
Of course. Like I said, I only thought I was going to have 4 stops. And so when you told me yesterday, you're like, oh, are you doing an E3 prediction video? I was like, you know what? We're making it 5.
Well, the whole idea is hopefully next year, because I'm hoping next week to have every single day a different person. Like I got a bunch of feelers out. So starting tomorrow.
Have you done one with Misclick yet?
I reached out to her to message her.
You should do one with her. She's cool.
I love her. So I reached out to her and asked her. Haven't got a message back yet. Then nobody takes her a couple days to be like, okay, I'll answer you, Bobby, and then talk. Yeah, I'll just go to her stream tonight and be like, re up the sub, like because I think I've been subbed to her for like 6 months or 7 months. Re up the sub. They go, oh, by the way, are you going to check my Twitter DM? And then
thank you for the sub, by the way, the other day. Dude, that was very nice. Thank you, man.
That was a trash sub. I'll do the real sub. The next time.
A trash sub? What's a trash sub?
The Twitch Prime. That's not real.
Bro, that counts. Yes, it does.
Dude, I want to give you real, like, I want to,
right.
so it automatically updates and you don't, I don't have to go back every month and go, oh, there's Roger.
Right.
There's Roger.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, but anyway, again, make sure you go check out everything that Mr. Roger Banks is doing all over the internet, over YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, everything.
Yep.
Roger Banks everywhere.
Yep.
Again, thank you, sir.
Anytime.
That is all. Peace out, Preston.
Bye, everybody.